am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over your son.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am Manning's Man, and it is the second day in a brand new week. A new week to make the best you can out of life, in spite of all its difficulties. All right? Just make progress every day. A single step forward a day is great because it is a sign that progress is being made. Life will always have its challenges, but there's no challenge that with hard work, diligence, commitment, and encouragement, and the strength of the Most High God, we cannot overcome. Be better today than you were yesterday. Be better tomorrow than you are today. We must also not just be internally focused, but we must live life seeking to add value to the life of others. When you interact with people, leave an indelible mark that you will be remembered for the great value that you added to their life. Be a positive example in your speech, in your conduct, and in your love. So be of good courage, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I am Manning's Man, and this is I Am Sure Sports. Of course, on a day like today, when there's so many negative things about the football that we can speak of, I want to do something completely different from the mundane, the regular stuff that is discussed. Just look at meaningful changes that can bring significant results. That's what I want to do today, and I want you to participate in that discussion. I think you'll have a lot of good times in discussing this in the comment section and by calling in, because when the videos are not controversial and disrespectful and calling out people, then normally the live views and all of those things go down significantly, because we have become a society that predominantly focus on negatives and tear down. And whenever we find that people don't fit that narrative of I am worse than dilemma, negative conversations, then we seek not to support them. Like we seem to want to tear down whatever seeks to build up and make life better for all of us. So today, we're going to focus on what lies ahead and what is better for all of us, especially in the footballing landscape. I simply ask you to do just a few things to show that you appreciate the program and the information that is being shared and discussed. You hit the like button, you subscribe, and you share. I normally have a Super Friday where I ask people to contribute for the upkeep of the work of the channel, not to finance the coffers of Manning's Man or my family, because really, I don't know, but for me, there is no great financial gain in being on YouTube. I do this because I love you, the viewers and subscribers, and I love discussing sport, in particular football. And I believe that I can add my voice to make change. But nonetheless, there are many things that we'd like to do at I Am Sure Sports. And so I always ask people to make a contribution to the channel so that the channel can do the work, right? Of changing people's life. Want to big up to all of you, Omar Fowlin, Tennessee Lewis, Chorus Carniff, CC Sports Lab, Tom Stranger, Jason, Jew Ross, aka Jew Fortis. Need I say more? Live 11 Radio, one and only Dean. Bless up yourself. To those who are watching and you haven't yet made a comment, blessings to you as well. All right. So today I want to discuss something that came up in a discussion that I had with someone just earlier today, and I thought it was important that we discuss it. We're going to talk about the U20's because while I believe that we I started out saying that I don't think, based on the preparation and all of that, we would we would lose all three games and not score a goal. Today, I if I'm in the earshot of the players or their parents, I want you to know that I have no disrespectful words to say to your son, your brother, your cousin, whatever, your grandson. No. I just believe that the preparation was not adequate, and we can only reap what we have sown. And if we did not pay attention to doing what is diligent, then reaping success becomes very difficult. And I cannot blame the players because they never selected themselves. They never chose not to be prepared and ready. This has never been about them. And I'm not going to be here. I'll never do that. I'll never disrespect or be disrespectful to a next man's son, especially teenagers. I can understand how our tone changes when we speak of adults. But when I see a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old out there representing their country, who am I to be calling them names and tearing them down, right? Even when I'm dissatisfied with the result, I can speak about a poor touch, a poor pass, lacking concentration, not marking, all of those things. But I should never call them names and be completely disrespectful because we're all Jamaicans and out of many, one people. So my hope today, my hope today is that they will rebound. And so I encourage them to work hard, to give their absolute best, to just forget that which happened a few nights ago and focus on the task that is ahead, to apply themselves in the best possible way. And you never know, you're able to get a good result, you could qualify as a third place team or a second place team. And if that happens, you never know. It's just one game. So you have, if you can play 3 more games and give your best, it is possible that you could qualify for this World Cup. So you have 3 games. And if you can get 2 wins and 1 drawn result in your next 3 games, you will be in the U20 World Cup. That's all you need. 2 victories and a draw. You draw this game, you win your last game, and you win the quarterfinal game, you are in the U20 World Cup. Keep the dream alive. Be positive. I know many of you were embarrassed. Many of you wept. You cried. I know your parents had to call and encourage you. Many of you felt like giving up. Many of you felt like you don't want anything to do with Jamaica. We understand how that feels. We understand how difficult that must have been for you. You didn't want to get 9. You didn't go out there and say we want to be beaten. But such is life. Such is life. Things happen. And our failures don't define us. It is what we do when we have failures in our lives that define us. You can make your failures create a culture and a mindset of failure in you, or you can use your failures as points of learning to improve and get better. All the best in your game today, and make Jamaica proud, make your family proud, and make your own self proud. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. Now, again, let's come back to the coaching. So now a very good initiative to get our coaches certified. Introductory positions in coaching starts at the D, then you move to the C, you move to the B, and the highest level is the A qualifications. That's the highest certification level. I believe it's a good initiative, and I believe that people ought to be qualified. If you're going to drive, you need a driver's license. If you're going to be a doctor, you need a medical license. So if you're going to coach people into careers, then I believe you need to be certified. Right? You need to be certified. We need to be certified, and we need to be qualified. And so I believe it's a good initiative to get people at different levels of qualification across the coaching spectrum. So you start with the D, you move to the C, you go to the B, and like I said, you then go to the A. And so I took some time today just to look at how other jurisdictions bring people through their qualification or qualifying process. And it is interesting that many of them have certain a window of time that you cannot move from one stage to the other. For example, some places like in the USA, you have E, D, C, B, and A. And you can apply, but you will not be permitted to do a certain level of qualification unless you have completed a certain amount of time coaching in a particular environment based on your present qualification. All right? That is how it works. So, for example, you don't get to do the A if you have not coached anything or any team at the B level. Right? Right? So, it's almost as if you have to prove that what you have learned in theory you can put into practice before you move to the next level. That's how it is in Europe, in South America, and in the USA as well. I can't speak for any other jurisdiction except for what we have now in CONCACAF or in Jamaica, where I think this need to be revisited and evaluated. So a person in Jamaica can complete up to the B level in 9 months. So if you do this, if you start out with the D, and you do it over the couple of weekends and you get your certificate, and there's a next C license coming up, you could apply. Even if you are not coaching, and you could be, once there is space, you could do the C and you pay your money. You do the C and say it takes 2 months, right? So let's say you start in January, you get your D in January. In 2 months' time, you get your C, right? So February, March, and now you're in April. You could go and do your B license. And so by the summer, you could start with no license in January, and by the summer, you could have a B license. And I guess dependent on how well you do in the B, if there's an A license and you can afford to pay for it, you could get the A license. So you could complete the whole coaching thing in 9 months' time. All right? Now, that may have its benefit, but I think it has serious flaws in it. Because what it says to me is a couple of things. One, the value of the practical is being diminished. Is being diminished if people go through based on what they learn only in theory. That is one serious issue. It also means that if you can pay the money, you can move through the system. Of course, if you can pass the system. If you're intelligent enough and understand football, then you can get all the theory up to the A license, right? Even though you are not in charge of a team. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think the D is the introductory. You don't have to be coaching to get that, because that is the basic level, the fundamentals. But once you have the D, I think before you can do the C license, you must be in a system coaching. And then you present certain things after 6 months of coaching that allows you to qualify for the C. All right? So now that you have qualified for the C, you do it and say you pass it. You should not be allowed to do the B license unless you're in a system coaching, applying some of which you learned in the D and in the C. And then you are evaluated, right? And then you can do the B license, right? So you should not be able to move from C to B until there is a year. This is only my opinion, and I am okay with people saying that is wrong and that is not the best way. It's my opinion. Now, once you have the B, to move from the B to the A, you have to be coaching at a high level, meaning in the tier 1, tier 2, or I could add some of our schoolboy football in that, right? We have a caller coming in. So let me just take the call and then I'll come back to what we're saying. All right. We have Fabi Frano. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon, Fabi Frano.
Yeah, blessed afternoon. But I never know it was that easy to get a B, man. Look like I need to come and Jamaica that.
Yeah.
No, it is like impossible that you only in less than a year.
Yeah, in less than a year, you could be enrolled in the B and complete it. If you start in January.
Manning.
Yeah. How does it work? Because you're in St. Martin, right? How does it work?
Yeah. Brother, first of all, you know what things me do forget a C.
All right. Explain to us. Explain to us how you went about getting your C license.
Mannings, it took me more than a year then. And you have to be coaching for a certain amount of years to actually be qualified to do the C, much less a B. Yeah, it took me more than a year to actually get the C. And me have to be a coach, me have to have a team, that's the first thing. Or you're an assistant. 1 minute. Or you're an assistant. All right, and you have to be coaching for a certain amount of years. Besides that, brother, when me had to see, me actually had to game analysis. Me had to game analysis, you had to classroom work, all of that. You have to have a philosophy. All of that me have to do. All right, first of all, we have to actually identify that I did mostly European coaching license in terms of while you're in St. Martin, most of the topics, most of the body of work is actually European based. Because at one point I had to go Curacao to actually do even a UEFA assist
because St. Martin is Dutch, right?
Yeah, they're under the Dutch.
Yeah.
Mine, we're still Caribbean, that. You see me? So some of the stuff are still from CONCACAF. A matter of fact, CONCACAF had to actually agree. Like some of the things that you get, the topics, they have to actually agree with it. Because at the end of the day, when you get the license, it says CONCACAF. However, all of the stuff that you get, they're European based. So really and truly, they had to go to CONCACAF, show them the body of work, and CONCACAF to say, yeah man, this is good to do. You know what I mean? So it really and truly take more than a year. So me that I do a night me have to do, man. You see me? A ton load of work me have to do to actually get a C. Now to get a B, man, you have to be coaching for a certain amount of years. I mean, more than 5 years, as a matter of fact. And besides that, you had to have a team. You have to do player profile while you're doing your B and stuff like that. So you have to have a player profile for every player on your team. Whether I'm a player or not, you have to have a player profile. You have to do video analysis, game analysis. You have to have different formations once you're coaching. So you could prefer, like, say, a 4-4-2, but however, you had to do different formations while you have your team.
Okay.
So they're going to give you scenarios. So for instance, you're coaching a team with 4-4-2, you're playing a team with 3-4, whatever, and then you have to prepare your team in maybe a different formation. So they're giving you the option of what if you see different formations? You have to learn to play different formations. So all of that they prepare you for. So as much as you like a formation, they're not having you sticking to one set formation. You know what I mean? So, a whole heap of work just to even get a B done. It takes more than a year to actually finish a B. The amount of work you had to do, and the paperwork wasn't normal. You see me? Never normal. As much as you do practical stuff, the paperwork was a lot. So when you say, boy, it only take 9 months to get a B in Jamaica, man, we have to move from Jamaica than if it's that easy.
Yeah, and I mean, what you're explaining is part of what I view as the problem. In other words, it's almost like we want the coaches to be certified. It does come across that way. So let's, like, somebody use the word. Yeah, like I think Jason used the word, let's fast track it. Or if it is not being fast tracked, then it comes across like this is more about the money then than the actual ability of the person to apply the information that they are learning. Because at what point is there an evaluation that
All right,
which you have learned
sorry.
at that particular level, you have
Yeah,
applied it
yeah.
sufficiently so that you can move to the next level. Like you have to be
All right,
driving
I'm
a
not
certain
talking
years to get a certain upgrade on your license.
a certain,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But a matter of fact, money is that in order for you to get in, you had to apply. You have to have a CV and all of these things that you have to apply. You don't even have to get through that. You don't even have to get through. You could apply, yes, and when you look at your resume and everything, them they realize, yo, this man not even fit to be. And then they don't accept you. So you don't even have to get in. You get what I mean? So it's not like, say, boy, yeah, man, I want to just to get in, and once you get in, you can try to pass it. You see me? Nothing like that, you don't have to get in. Because not everybody, if everybody come forward and say they want to do the course, brother, we have to know the courses, but then not many will stay and do like say 10 years in the field, and no, some man just have the license, do it, and then them never coach. So the man decide say that not going to work. Is it because you can't have anybody, and then when you look, your development is not well run and all of these things. No, they make sure if them check your background and all of these things if you're fit to be. You see me? So it's not like you have to get in even if you apply.
Yep, there you go. Right? And then here's the other thing. In like what I want to know is this. Who coaches? So who does the courses where you're at?
We have a coaching educator who is actually based in Netherlands, and he comes on quite often. So what they would do, he would come down. His name is Pete De Jong.
Yeah.
Then you have Johan Nieskin. You probably know Johan Nieskin. He would come down. He's a former coach of Barcelona. He plays with Johan Cruyff. So he would come down. You have the guy named Menzo. You know Menzo. He would come down from time to time. Bert, a guy for. So these are all Dutch coaches.
Yeah, so
they will come down from time to time.
Here's why I asked a question, because I know that Mr. Anton Carneal, who is the technical director for football in Trinidad and Tobago, he's the one who does kind of the whole courses. So I know he originally started, and then I think some of the persons in Jamaica now, like Peart and Speed, Vassal Reynolds, these are some of the persons who teach the courses in Jamaica. No,
they have a higher
so
license.
What I'm saying is that they are teaching it not based on their success in terms of coaching, but based on the fact that they have completed the courses. What I want to find out is what qualifies a person to be a teacher, right? So
an educator.
Yeah, an educator, a coaching educator. What qualifies you? So when for example, do you have to be a good doctor to be able to teach others to be a good doctor? So do you need to be a good coach to teach people to be a good coach? Or do you need to be a successful doctor to raise up other successful doctor in terms of being an educator? That's the question I want to answer where the football is concerned.
No, not necessarily. I mind it. All right. The thing is, you don't have to be a good coach to actually be a good coaching educator. Just like you have very good players who are not really good coaches. You get what I mean? It's the knowledge that you have to partake to somebody else. Besides that, one of the things that is a plus, especially on this side, is if you're a teacher by profession. If you're a teacher by career and stuff like that, and you're a football coach, then that is a plus in how they take you on to be an educator. And the matter of fact, your license, if you have an A license, then they realize that you have an A, you must be able to teach B or C. So you have to be able to teach the license that is below your license.
Right.
So for those who are A, you must be able to teach B and stuff like that because you have an A license. So once you have a license that is higher than the one that they require, then it allows you to be an educator. Besides that, once you have a teaching background, as I said, most of the guys that I know, that I tell you about, they were PE teachers, and then they become coaches and stuff like that. So they can actually teach. So bringing across the content is not difficult.
So okay, so isn't this a problem? Like so. All right, I get that because you don't have to be you don't have to be a successful coach to be a successful instructor.
No.
All right, that makes sense. All right, but how do you know? How do you know that because a person has a higher level of education in terms of the footballing education, that qualifies them to to educate others? Because not everyone who is well educated can
Will come across as a good educator.
right.
But here's the thing though, Mannings, it's not like these coaches are coming off the top of their head and teach you. They actually have a content that they use, sometimes worldwide content, that they use based upon your area or based upon the country that you live in. As I said before, because here is actually colonized by the Dutch and stuff like that, most of the content that you get is actually European based and how they want to play and stuff like that. So that's what they do in terms of the region. Maybe for Jamaica, it's different. How they want to play, their content is based upon their region.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
But remember,
it's not everybody gets the same content, really.
But remember, though, Jamaica did not create the content. So I'm saying that
they can tailor the content to the region.
Yeah, but one of the first things I'd like to know is that is the content based on a European footballing philosophy integrated in that is Caribbean philosophy? Is it based on an American, which is North and South American, Central American philosophy, and ingrained in that is Caribbean philosophy? Or is it totally Caribbean? And if it is a totally Caribbean philosophy, would that be sufficient to develop coaches in the Caribbean who will be able to coach the national teams and the junior teams to the point where they can be better than other regions? Because, and the reason why I'm asking that, right, is this: if what is in the material is based on Caribbean culture, Caribbean football, I don't believe, has been good enough to create coaches who will be able to dominate South American and dominate North America and dominate Europe. So shouldn't we then look for material from a region that has had long periods of football dominance, and from that create the manuals that we use to instruct our people to coach and instruct the persons who will instruct how to instruct them?
All right, Manning. So the content is not a problem, you know, because full up your head, I can. Like, we can get the best content possible, come and give you in your hand and teach you how to do this and that. Or coach, you will adapt whatever you want to adapt. In that, you adapt the system that you want. You get out there, you know, you decide what happens, isn't it? So at the end of the day, no matter what, if not good enough, just not good enough. Besides that, if he's unable to bring across the content that they give him to be successful, then who is the problem? The content is not the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is the person.
Okay.
Besides that, I tell you something where the first time I was doing coaching license was under a coach named Etienne Silly, who is actually one of the coaching developer for CONCACAF, especially in the Dutch Caribbean. When I was doing it was my turn to actually to execute my training session. And this man tell me, so listen, if you have a team, cool, and you're doing a training exercise, if your player is messing up the training exercise, the man say get rid of the player. Because at the end of the day, if this one player causing the whole thing to get messed up, what are you going to do with him then? Like, get rid of the player. So I say that to say, if you have all the content in the world and you have the tools, you give the coaches the tool to perform or to be successful, and he's not, then is one thing to do is get rid of the person.
Okay, so yes, the content is not important.
The content is important, don't get me wrong. It is
Okay.
important, however, is the execution of the content and the person who is actually behind. Because as we said, they can give you the best content in the world. If you are unable as a coach to execute those content and put it into play and get the best out of your players, then we have a problem.
Okay. All right. Good call. Fabi Frano, that the people, this is Fabi Frano is calling from St. Martin, talking about, just how it is in St. Martin. All right. But good input. Always good to have you on the show. Appreciate the call.
Man, big
Yeah,
up,
man.
boss, man.
Every
Blessings.
time. All right. Blessings. All right. I see. So let me come to Brian's point. He says, man, in the coaching educators are trained as coach. Yeah, man, I believe that they are trained as coaching educators. Here is my question. Do we believe that the coaching education being offered to the coaches in the Caribbean is sufficient to make our coaches coach teams, U teams, and national teams, male and female, that will be able to become dominant in the region? Are the educators, based on the information that they have, good enough? And is the material sufficient to enable the coaches to do better than those teams in North America, those teams in South America, and those teams in Europe? That is the question. That is the real crux of the matter. That is what I'm asking. All right. Let me see if we can call. We have a coach here in the American system calling in. So we just had someone from St. Martin, who is over there coaching. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
That's I love ceremony, man. Good afternoon to the viewers, the listeners, wherever they are out there in the world.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. I was very much pleased of coach that called from St. Vincent. In terms of his whole reasoning, in terms of the coaching. For the question that you asked, it's a big no, man. It's a big no. And what I said no is one has to realize how far we are back in terms of the football. I mean, you travel out and travel the world and see the football. And I think you will have that realization to see how far we are back. I mean, we have just reached the stage that people are talking about periodization and all that stuff. Those stuff have been way past in terms of where you are and dealing with the football. So, I mean, we are way behind. We are way behind, man. That's the reality of it. We are way behind.
So, what you're saying, that Coach Barris, is that even though it is good to provide the education, and we have the educators, the information and the stuff that are happening now, we are so way behind that even our B or A license coach is still way behind the better coaches in South America and in Europe and even in North America. That's what I'm understanding from you.
Yeah, they're way behind management, because one have to look at the key factor that the coach didn't mention to you. I didn't pick it up from what he was saying. It's the hours that he spent learning and being taught. I mean, a lot of people confuse mentorship with coaching education. I mean, I can be among the best coaches for years and get good mentorship. It doesn't mean I'm going to get the same thing from a coaching coach. It doesn't mean I'm going to pass a coaching coach. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
one has to realize that it's not so much the material as he said, but if you listen closely to what he was trying to bring across, it's so easy to get a B license in Jamaica, so you should be there. And he's just talking based on the hours. Now, anybody around the world will tell you the hours they have to spend just to get from even probably a grassroots course
how does it work in the States?
In the States, the reality of it, if you haven't played any professional football, you have to start from a grassroots program. And grassroots is just basic introduction. And then also, with that introduction, you have to do theory. There is what you call a medical side to it. You have to understand the basics. Medical, in terms of identifying concussions and all those stuff. Be able to perform CPR and all those stuff. You have to understand all of that during the grassroots. Then when you graduate from the grassroots, which is the theory side, you have to now do the field practical, which you have to either do a 7v7, 4v4, and you must do 11v11. And this is actually training session. Now understand America is different because their system is different. America have what you call play practice. It is different from what they have in Europe. It's different from what they have in South America or Central America or the Caribbean. So the reality of it, the football management is what shaped the culture. So everybody try to see what's the nearest thing to them that they can bring in.
So someone, hold on, Coach Barris, because someone else, someone else in the chat is saying, in the same American is saying that not medical. They said that just basic concussion, but you don't really go through the whole.
Yeah, but you still have to understand how to perform CPR and this stuff. And there's equipment that you use to resuscitate players in case the heart stop working and all that you have to be accustomed to. So you have to go through all of that management. It's not just football alone. You see, I mean, you can waiver that if you had played professional football.
Yes.
And the hours you can waiver.
Yeah. So how long does it take, right? How long does it take for a person to move?
From a beginner point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to ask the question. What happened? The grassroots can be done online. Then you get into the field session, which I said is either 4v4 or 7v7 or 11v11. Then now you're automatically, after passing that, you're automatically have entrance into what they call D license, because they remove the E, they replace the E with the grassroots.
Okay.
They replace the E with the grassroots. So what happened? The D now and everything go forward is based on hours. Based on hours. From a theory and a practical standpoint.
Okay.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, man, I understand.
The further you go, and let me make this clear, the further you go, the price will increase and the hours in terms of what you have to put in order to achieve this license, everything increased from price to time. Both the theory and the practical side. The only difference that I see America change now is time gone by when you did a B license. They allow you now to film a session. And this is probably because of what happened in COVID. So I can actually use my team to film a session based on the topic they give me. And I can send that session to them and they will watch it. And then we got our pass our failure.
Okay.
So the key factor is the hours. Now, I think one of the situations for us, as I said, we are far behind management because I mean I know people down there, coaches on the island that I speak with, that just came out of coaching course, that they just understand periodization and training and all that stuff. Now anybody around the world can tell you that they have been through that. Anybody at any decent level coaching will tell you that they have flight past that long time. And if you notice, the coach that called, I don't remember his name. He takes you into game analyst, creating profile for his players and all that stuff. So one of the situations is, I'm not knocking Jamaican coach, but I think we need to look at the material. As the caller was saying, the material that we're trying to bring across to the coaches is key factor. And I mean, I'll sit in level 1, I'll sit in level 2 in Jamaica. And when I look at the material, and I mean, And I'm going to
No,
tell you that.
but to be fair to Coach Barris, the level 1 and level 2 are not being done anymore. That was years
No,
ago.
I know they remove it. But what I'm saying to you, at the time that it was did, it was a fair level in terms of the material that they covered. It was good enough to prepare any coach to probably coach at a youth level. If you understand what I mean. Now,
Yes. Well,
understand that.
You know what? I have someone who just text me who know, I think they have done some of the courses, and they said they want to call in and shed some light in terms of the courses offered by the JFF because they have done them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and let them speak, and then once they have clarified certain things, then I can call you back for you to further explain now based on what they have said. So let us do that.
Yeah, and I think I mean, I would love for them to clarify just the material that's been delivered in these sports.
All right, so let me do that, and then I'll come up there. All right, then, not a problem. All right. So we have I think this is one of the coaches who think he just got his C license and he is about to do his B license right now, I believe. This is Coach Javan Parchment, popularly known on these circuits as Not Seen Unseen. All right, welcome to the show. So how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Just feeling happy. I got my certificate last night.
You got a certificate? What kind of certificate you got? Talk to the people. What kind of certificate? C?
So I've completed my C diploma coaching license, CONCACAF coaching license, and I'm happy.
So it's a CONCACAF coaching license?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how long did it take you to move from your D to your C?
I think it was a year. 1 year.
Okay, so when you did your D license a year ago?
Yes.
Okay, so was that a requirement, or it was the course was not available, or you could not afford? Yeah.
All right. How it goes, basically, based on what Third Speed and Mr. Spirit said, the principal of coaching, that you have to wait 6 months to step up to do a course. Now, the only exception is persons who are a player who have a lot of experience outside of Jamaica at the international level. They will go up quicker than a normal person who don't play.
Okay, so if I did my D license in June, regardless of what I did, or what, so if I just did the license and sit down at home, I could then take the C license in June.
Right.
Okay. All right.
When you send your application, them vet you and so on, and then decide to take you in, well, yeah, okay.
Okay. So what do they ask? Do they find out if you're coaching? Do they find out if you have applied anything from the D license in your present?
Right. So
go ahead.
So on your application, you have to put down, you're active. If you're active, if you're not active, the club that you're at, the school that you're at, stuff like that.
Okay. So you do that. So you have to be actively coaching.
You're supposed to be actively coaching.
Supposed to be. All right. So bam. So you did your C license. You're finished.
But I was active coaching.
Okay, but between the D and the C, were you ever evaluated to see if you qualified to do the C?
Based on the results I got from the D license, I think that is what they use to say that yes, the apartment is
ready for this. That's what you mean. That's what you mean. So when you did the D license, you did so well in this, in whatever that they said that you are fit to do the C.
Right.
All right. So now that you have done the C, did you do well? And they say now you're fit to do the B.
Well, I based on my results, I think I don't know as yet. Maybe when I apply, then I will find out. They did not tell me if I should go up. But when I apply, and based on what I am doing, if I'm active and so on, they will give me a chance to go up.
Give you a chance. It sounds like I don't like the word give a chance.
Remember, a lot of people going to apply for it, right? A lot of people going to apply for it. And remember that you're going to have persons who are overseas football players who will get the preference over. I don't play overseas.
Based on,
They will get the
what?
preference
So
to go
why
to
would they get the? If I am a better coach than that person, why would they get the preference?
I don't like that. I don't like it. But that is what they say.
So basically, what you're
That's
saying
how it goes.
to move from C to B is preferential treatment.
In terms of the player part, the player who is playing at the international level, that part.
So okay, so even if a
Player
player
who plays at the international level,
he will get he will get preferential treatment to do the B over you.
Right. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So what if I am, say, hypothetically speaking, I am Neville Bell. And I'm at St. George's and I want the B. Do I get added to that? Do you think, at least, because you probably can't answer?
No, I can answer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I can answer. So they may look at his years of service, his whatever, when win or stuff like that, and they may make a judgment based on that to say, or they might look at his age and say, he's fading out of coaching now, and so on. So give the youngster a chance, those stuff. They look at what you're doing, if you're active and all those.
So,
and if you're looking for you to come into the national program or stuff like that. That's what I think. I don't know if I'm not speaking for them. I'm speaking for
because what I'm trying to figure out, is that if I'm not a good coach, do I still get to progress to the B? Yeah. Is it about how good I'm able to apply with that which I learn, or the fact that I'm just involved? So, for example, if I have a team and the team is not playing well, the players are not developing, there is no structure, but I coach a team, I did the C, can I apply and get the B and said I'm at this school, I'm at this Division 1 club, I'm at this academy and stuff, and they say, okay, bam, go and do the B. How do they determine if I'm capable of doing the B? Because I may just be a very intelligent person and can know how to answer questions and explain things and get the theory right. But that don't mean I know how to set up a team, how to build a program, how to develop an individual player, how to create a culture.
No, but that person would have to go through the other courses before they reach the D level, where they will have a little understanding of what to expect from the D life. So if that person never passed them tests,
no man, I'm saying you pass, because what I'm saying that passing the D. No. I don't feel like what I'm saying that I don't feel like a person who watches and probably is highly involved in football would be able to feel the D license. Like, for example, I think I can just go and do the D license and pass it. I feel like I didn't have to go to a possible, I don't know. I feel like I may not even need to go to the course, but you give me the D license material to sit down and answer the questions and put something in place, just based on knowledge, I will be able to pass it and my experience. That's what I think. No,
you're right, man, because I've seen you doing, coaching and stuff.
All right.
You're competent.
All right.
But one thing that you have over a lot of persons is that you have the practical side of it. A lot of persons are theoretical.
Okay, I see.
You need a balance.
Okay, like I feel like we may be putting people through the system.
You have persons who I won't use the word fail. They have to go back and do some sessions in their community to get their D license.
To get the D license.
Yeah, so you have some persons who
here's what I believe,
but never pass it.
Here's what I believe.
Go back and do some
if
extra.
you cannot pass a D license, my boss, you need some years off.
No, I not agree with that, man.
Yeah?
I not agree with it, because when you do the test, you could go under some stress, God forbid somebody drop out to you, you never get to do the exam. That exam was basically theory and practically. C license is straight practical, you can't make a mistake.
All right. DW is saying something. DWS, let me just hold on a sec, because DWS Center, it has nothing to do with being a good coach. It's about having the prerequisite, I believe. But can you run a session management? All right. I'm going to tell you this. Let me say this, DW. I'm not going to, let me be very protective of some of what I've seen. I have witnessed persons who have coached at very high level and how they set up their session at how they do the sessions has a lot to be desired. Let me give you an example. I know that from at the highest level, when you're going to have a session, you meet with your players and your coaching staff, whomever, and you show them what you're going to do for the session. Listen, the physical trainer takes them for the first 30 minutes, and he has that. They start low, high intensity. Then you get into, whatever drills or whatever. Then you get into your small-sided game, and then you get into your individual work, and you get to your right. So you set up however you do that. I've seen at some high levels in Jamaica, some coaches that are renowned in Jamaica will have players do warm-up or what do you call it, activation. And after that, they sit them down again, talk to them about the plan for the rest of the session, and then they get into
Madness.
the madness. And I've
Madness.
seen that. I've seen that in I've seen it at. I'm not going to talk. The 4 levels that I've seen that at. Go ahead.
Man, you have some coaches in Jamaica, and I'm going to say it theoretically. They're not practicing what they learn. They are doing whatever they want to do. They just want to get life. They go out there and do.
Okay. So you're saying that they are getting the knowledge, but they're not using it. So that is the issue I'm having. So how do they move through the system then? If I teach you something in the D and you're not applying it, how do I let you sit the C? And then if I teach you and give you all of this education in the C and you're still stuck in your old ways, how do I how do I allow you to do the B license? That's what I'm saying, that there should be here's what, there should be some coaching police that go around.
I believe. I said it to them too. I think we should have some persons going around and evaluate the coaches based on what they are doing. I said it. I agree with you.
Okay. All right, Unseen, I have a question for you. Go ahead. Somebody saying, can you ask the caller what are the 6 tasks of a coach? He just got his C last night. Should be fresh in his brain.
Fine.
Huh? 6. I think it should be 6 tasks of a coach. Hello? Unseen?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what are the 6 tasks of a coach?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should have got that.
I don't know if the caller want me to say it. There are special words. I don't know if there are special words, but based on what I know, a coach is somebody who is a father figure. A coach is somebody who is going to design plans to carry out training so that you can, go out on the field and be competent. A coach is somebody who is supposed to be, somebody who can convince persons to get things done or change the mindset of their employee, right?
Unseen. You better say, listen, boy, you don't understand what is meant because you see, answer we are give right now.
Yes.
It's far from the 6 things them. But maybe they don't teach it that way, so you probably can't answer it that way.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But you understand me? I would ask.
No, but you have to remember, everybody learn different, and
so let me ask you this. What I'm asking you is that in the C license, let me ask you a simpler question. What are the 5 most important things that
All right. So safeguard
So
is safeguard.
here are the six things, and that is what I'm saying. Coaching
Go
games,
ahead.
coaching training session, leading the team, leading the player, which is managing the performance, environment, and leadership.
Yeah, so what Mr. Wrong in the first one? I mean, I say it like you know, but I see it lead up.
No, that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that that's why I said that
You
no
get what
answer
I'm saying?
because all I'm saying is that maybe that's what I'm saying. You know, maybe what your answer
Yeah.
is not what the person. So hold on. Let me go back to DW. So that is a,
Leadership,
hold on and
coaching
see.
session.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, man. I can give you the money wall, you know. Me have the money. Me have the money. Me tell you, say me can give you the money wall. That's what me tell you.
Continue.
Yeah, but DW. That's what I am saying. If there should be some form of evaluation, right? This is where I'm
Yeah.
saying that if the person is not being evaluated, what happens is that they move through the system. There is no application of the theory, but they are coaching, you know. But a person could be learning new things, but still implementing the things of the past because they're stuck in their ways, and without evaluation, they're going to make progress through the system. So where is the evaluation between the D and the C and the B, and the B and the A? That's what I'm
And all
asking.
our next thing to management added to that is you have some persons who go and do the courses who them say that the persons who are educating them don't have the quality or don't they never win nothing like them. And that's me. So them go in there and say them just go and get the D and come out and do what them want. Or do the C and come out and do them want. They have a coach who win a 4, 5, 6 cycle at JPL, but he must do the B to go up or qualify. But he must say the man that we are teaching already.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying, because in Jamaica, you see, there are so many things in the system. In Jamaica, so for example, one of the main persons who teaches this course is Mr. Peart, who I think is an excellent teacher or educator. Very good.
Excellent.
All right,
Excellent.
watch this,
Excellent.
watch this. But a coach who has won multiple Premier Leagues, coach at the international level. Can you understand how that coach now feels like when he comes and hear that Peart is going to be teaching him? In his head, no, you're right. No, you and I are the same. In his head, he's going to say, but Peart can't coach like me. Me won money cup, me win Premier League, me win. You understand me?
Right. But you're the difference now, man. That's why in a GC first or any college you go, you have a coaching course different from teaching course. Because it's two different things.
Yeah, man. You and I agree on unseen that not because you have won more, like Mourinho has won more titles than Arsene Wenger, but Arsene Wenger is a better football educator than Mourinho. I am saying to you that many people who they would not necessarily go and take the information from Mr. Peart because they have had more success using their methods and coaching than he has had. So, how does Peart and the rest of them now determine if that person is applying the new information? Because remember what some of the coaches know, you know, is what used to work 20 years ago. There are new stuff in football now that we weren't exposed to. How do I evaluate if this coach is applying the modern philosophies and systems and implementing the information of modern day football in what they are doing? How do I know that if there is no space for evaluation?
And to that man, I think, and to, you hearing me?
Yeah, man, we hearing you.
And to add to that man, like the D license, like some 7-year-old, 6-year-old, 9-year-old. That's it. The C license is now like 10-year-old going up to 13, 14, 15-year-old. The B license now is elite youth, going up to I think 17 or 18. That's it. No, the coaches in Jamaica are coaching out of their qualification. That is an issue.
Yeah.
By right, the coaches that are supposed to be coaching at Premier League should go to a license first before they coach at that level. So some of these coaches are coaching here without the requisite qualification. However, we are way behind. I'm agreeing with the person.
So you're saying that a lot of the coaches so for example, the coaches in the Premier League, they're coaching above their qualification level.
Right. It's facts. If you don't have a license, you're coaching above the qualification. You don't have a license.
Okay.
But man is man. The difference with me though, I went to GC first and I did a 2-year diploma coaching course specialized in football. So I did a lot of things such as periodization, cycle, the cycles, the meta cycle, the macro cycle, all of those cycles, right? How to plan make a yearly plan. I did all that at GC first, 2 years, sitting down in class, right through. So I've understand how to make plans and so on, conditioning training, sports medicine, all of those things I did at GC first, right? So doing these courses for me, it becomes kind of good. I won't say a little bit. I understand certain things when I go into it. I can apply the science to what I learn.
Okay.
So even though I'm the C, for me, I can help somebody in a Premier League.
Based on what? Based on the fact that you went to GC faster? And you got...
Yeah, based on some of the knowledge that I've got.
All right.
But I agree. But I agree that I must go through the A license first before I can manage like a head coach in the Premier League first.
All right. I think we have an Antiguan trying to call. Let's see if he has a different perspective from his side. But thanks, Unseen, for calling as usual. Great call. Although Album Sports is saying that Unseen a player could be an elite youth at 13. Boss, elite has nothing to do with age, Bossy. You're struggling to explain this thing, Bossy. So let me just take a next one and then I'll get back to you. All right. So
okay.
Yeah, man. All right. Respect Unseen. All right. So let's see if we can take this call. This is an Antiguan this time. So we heard from a man in St. Martin. We heard from a Jamaican. We have an Antiguan, and then we're gonna see if we can hear from someone from Trinidad. Good afternoon. You can just mute the background noise and
good afternoon.
Yeah.
I am in total agreement with what you were saying about people getting a D license and quickly go up to the B license. It's a sham. You have to go through a process of learning information theoretically and practically. Because when you get a D license, it's going to take you next year or so before you move on to the C. And you have to be, I just say, evaluated properly to ensure that you are disseminating information correctly and you're doing the correct things on and off the field. Okay? So to me, it's a joke when you're able to jump so quickly to a B license within less than 6 months. It's a joke. Oh yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there must be like, okay, you did the D, you want to do our C license, we need to come and check out your environment, see what you're doing to make sure that what we have taught you in the D, you're actually implementing. Because how we're going to give you new information, it's just like with people in medicine. They have internship. And the internship, there is an evaluation. You understand me? To determine if you're on the right path to move on.
Correct. It's like when a doctor graduates from school, he has to do his practical for 2 years, his residency for 2 years or a year before he could become a full-blown doctor. You know, I mean, so if they continue to like that management, that whole process could be like watered down. It's not going to be looked at as something unique in itself, because people say, well, listen, that's a joke. You know, how can you do that?
Yeah.
So the powers maybe have to really evaluate this whole process so it comes across as a legit process. Okay, that has some merit with it.
Yeah, I see someone saying.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I see someone saying Mr. Speed. I don't know if this is the real Mr. Speed, but he says D and C is introductory, done in 2 tranches. And then he says B stands for basic. So you see it now. So unseen really.
No, that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
No, but what I'm saying. No man, what I'm saying though. Sorry to interrupt. I'll let you finish. But if this is the real Mr. Speed, I think that's what he's saying. Unless it is like somebody operating in his name, but he's saying that B, I guess in their coaching hierarchy stands for basic. He says A is advanced, B is basic, D and C is introductory. But you're saying that is incorrect because you're in Antigua. Go ahead.
No, that's incorrect because the B is a little more advanced and it requires a lot more thinking, and it's not basic. It introduces to I can't remember exactly, but it's more of a higher level than the D. It's a lot more work. So it's not basic, okay? The B license now is a lot of work, okay? You have to build sessions, you have to do a lot of presentation. It takes a lot out of you. And then the A license now is something totally different and transform you as a complete coach. So the whole process, and move from B to A, you have to do 18 sessions before you move on to the A license course. So basically, what is happening now? People are short-circuiting the process, and it's not correct.
All right.
People don't learn anything properly that way.
So in Antigua, Antigua uses the same.
The same curriculum, but I think the same thing. What is happening where people are doing jump from one license to the other license? I think, from what I understand, it's happening here, and it's incorrect. From my understanding, it's like the similar thing is happening where people are jumping from one to the other within a short period of time, and that's incorrect.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. That sounds good.
So management,
yes. Go ahead.
The next thing, the under 20. What's your opinion on under 20? You haven't touched that topic as yet?
Yeah, I haven't gone to that as yet. But today, they have a game today, and I think I'd prefer to have them play their game because I don't want to, I wish them all the best early at the start of the show, right? I wish them all the best at the start of the show, and I don't want to discuss anything. I believe that if they can, like I said, if they can win, get a point from this game and win 2 games, they can qualify for the World Cup. But I will not. I don't want to get into, because I don't want to. It's game day, and I would not want, having seen them suffer such a humiliating defeat. I don't want to say anything that could get in their earshot too.
I understand. But I asked Speed on another show, how's the preparation going? I didn't get a positive, convincing feedback. I found that his answer was kind of vague, and I didn't feel like the confidence was within him to say, listen, we're going to really do well. I didn't get that sense. Understand? So from his answers, I kind of felt a little down in terms of the expectations of the team. That's how I felt. Okay. But at the end of the day, we just hope for the best tonight to see there's a complete 180 degrees.
Tomorrow we'll talk about it. I want to remain positive today.
Okay.
Yeah, man. All right. Blessings. Thanks for the call and the input as usual. Yeah, man. Same to you. Bye.
Okay.
All right. So we have Kendall Mercury. Maybe you can call in as well. We're getting different perspectives. So Brian is saying, Roach is not that accurate. And then I think again, people I don't know because I've seen this Rudolph Speed come up and people say the wrong person is not the real Mr. Speed. But these comments look like the real Mr. Speed. It says professional players with 5 years overseas experience get certain advantages to do courses. Okay. So only those who have 5 years overseas. So if you play in Jamaica alone, you get no special favors. All right. All right. All right. I see Andre saying, Bonus boss, I don't think Andre know anything about the coaching education in the Caribbean. All right. Let's see if we can get some views from outer Trinidad and Tobago. I think this is the place where the genesis of the coaching courses. So let's see. All right. Yes, you can mute. You can mute the. Yeah, there you go. I'll turn it on. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon, Mr. Trinidad and Tobago himself. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What I I don't know. I don't know. I can help you. How I can help you in this regard is like I did the last time. I can try to get the person responsible for coaching education in the Caribbean to come in your show. I think you know who that person is to answer some of these questions. Because I really don't know much about the coaching education. What I would contribute to the conversation is I think there's a heavy focus that has been placed on coaching education, which I don't disagree with coaching education, but I think we have to put it in perspective, right? It does formalize the information. It does provide some formal information, and it does put you in a position as an individual to advance your career. Okay, but I think what is just as important, or in some cases even more important, is the individual's practical experience, the informal program one time before. There's guys from Asia, coaches from Asia and other places that leave and go to England, go to Arsenal training ground. Spend a week, 2 weeks, a month, and they're out there watching at the time Arsene Wenger. I'm sure they're still doing it today with Ateta. And that informal learning opportunity, right? And that coach individual ability to effectively apply the knowledge, okay, to the game. I think that together with the coaching certificate, it makes for a good coach. But I think the action is that coach, a coach team. You know, you just 2 quarters ago saying that you just got to see and you feel like you can help in the JPL, right? I don't know if he has the informal learning. It's part of becoming a good coach. That's what I could contribute to the conversation.
Yeah, I am one. Yeah, I am wondering though. While I understand that whole, like that mentorship, probably that's a better word to use. Just because that way you're able to apply some of these things. I still believe that one of the key components to moving people over the different stages, because if we are right, if all of us are okay, Arsene Wenger said it, I believe you believe it. Mr. Speed is obviously of the opinion, because I've heard him on programs, including this one, speaking about the need to have the youngest players getting proper instruction in the game and introduction to the game, right? And that is why there is this big push to get the coaches at the level where that can be done. That does mean then grassroots football is important. All right. And if we're not evaluating the implementation of the information at the grassroots level, how then can we move them up to the basic level? If when those coaches do the D and say they do the C and they're coming to do the B, and we don't see them implementing what they have learned in D and C at the grassroots level, and it is having an effect on the output in terms of the kids at that level, or not just kids, but probably grassroots is not just children. It can be probably go up to say business house or even some high school, I suppose, because it's grassroots. How then do we know that they are good enough to even move to the B level? What do we use? It doesn't matter. Does it matter if the person is doing justice to the information for them to go to?
Okay, so
yeah.
So coaching courses, and this is a little bit complex. I'm not so sure what you're asking is doable. Or I'll tell you why. When you do a course, the coaching courses that they're not going into a coaching course trying to fail and to get you to do good work on a daily basis and in the league that you're playing on that platform. That's the evaluation as a coach, right? So if is Pep applying the information he
Andre,
you is pro license.
Yeah, Andre, you're breaking up. I don't know where you are, and I'm not hearing it so clearly.
I didn't have a storm. You had a storm recently.
Okay.
So don't blame me.
Sorry. I hear you know. Because the people are hearing me, so that means I'm good to go, but they're not hearing you. But go ahead.
Right. What I was saying is I don't know if that's realistic to expect a body that's responsible for coaching education to, after you give a coach a C license or a D license, to evaluate him before you accept him, because sometimes with the information in the coaching license, you really maybe 10-20% of it. My thing is Pep Guardiola implementing the information he learned in his UEFA Pro license, or what he learned at Barcelona as a player and as a coach, and what he believes about the game, right? Obviously, he would have received some information, most of it probably on the science side of the game that he's utilizing, but a lot of it is from the mentoring you receive from what's his name from Holland, from what he learned from the coaching at Barcelona, from the academy stage coming up. That's the information I believe that he would be functioning on, right? And plus his own how we see football and how we want to go. But I don't think the coaching license is the reason why Pep is as good as he is. As if it was that, then everybody would be at the top of the table. Everybody would be at the top of the table.
Okay, so what you're saying, so it is necessary to have the license, but it is not the license that brings you success. We know that.
Yeah, right, but the point of the answer, it is the answer to making you a good coach. I mean, I was joking with Ancine just now when I asked the question about the six tasks. They are real, they exist, right? And you would understand that coaching a game and coaching a training session would be part of it. I don't really expect him to answer that off the cuff like that, but it is things that you pick up in the coaching course that is more formal, right? That you would know or expect to know. But football is about how you see the game, right? And what you want to happen. Because I've done courses already where the instructor didn't believe in using a neutral in a small-sided game. And now today, from that same body, at the time I accepted it, I utilized it, I believed in it. And they couldn't change my mind. They couldn't change my mind because it was working for me. It was working for the players that I work with in terms of the development. So I'm not going there to tell them what I know. I just accept what they have to offer, right? I go back and apply what works for me. I mean, so I think the idea, the way we discussed the coaching license, I think it probably could be put in perspective a little bit.
All right, all right. Like that. I like that. I see Mr. Speed. The person. Let me say this way again. The person named Speed says, national coaches and top Premier League coaches, with advanced level 2. I think they saying that they were allowed to do the pilot B license. B license is for elite use and top amateurs. I think that is has to do with the CONCACAF one. Yeah. So that's what he's saying right there. And then DW says, it is complicated. I know some really amazing coaches who coach 6-year-olds who can coach U18 and some who coach pro but can't coach 6-year-old. So it's specialized at grassroots. It is very different. And then he's asking, do they do the cover stuff in Jamaica? I don't know if they pull. This is what I'm saying. I don't know if they pull material from Europe and from South America, or this material was just based on Caribbean culture, or is it CONCACAF based? Because even if I were going to create a manual to educate coaches across the Caribbean, do you know that I probably would not take on to a lot of CONCACAF stuff. I'd go into Europe and South America because they have been the two most successful confederations. Why would I take it? Go ahead.
Again, I as I said, I don't know. I've not seen much of the material, so I cannot speak for the CONCACAF, for the Caribbean license. But at the end of the day, what is happening in coaching education is people are taking information from everybody. It's the same information. Some of it is being repackaged. Some of it, you put a different twist on it. So maybe sometimes the information is coming from Holland, maybe it's coming from France, maybe it's coming from Spain, but everybody is taking the same information, repackaging it, and own it. It's really, football is football from ever since we knew it, right? And the science side of the game has grown a lot. That has grown a lot, but as far as football itself, I think it will always boil down to how the individual sees the game and understand the game and is able to unpack the complexity of the game from a development perspective and share to players. What methodology you're going to use to ensure that players can understand and learn at the training session.
Yeah. I think that. Yeah. All right. Well said. We're going to see if we can hear from somebody else. In the Caribbean. Let's see if I can get Kendall Mercury. Hear what he has to say on the matter. Thank you as usual. You need to
why you don't go to the source of the information?
Well, the source of the information. Yeah, but I can't call him right now. Unless you can, Mr. Carneal is very
organized.
Yeah, Mr. Carneal is very busy, So I can't just call him. And Mr. Speed said that he's taking a year of appearing on any YouTube platform. So nobody will be seeing him for a year. That is why I'm very suspicious of the person in the comment section to see whether or not it is actually him.
I call him. I'll call him and see if
you know what? Yes. Seeing that, I'm going to call him right now and tell him that Andres here must call him.
I don't know why you're trying to put me in the store here.
All right, then. This is what. Yeah, what. All right, so let's see if we can get this former national coach. His name is Kendall Mercury, and let him share his thoughts with us. Someone who I've had on this program before and even did an interview with, right? So let's call him and see if he's available. All right. Let's see if we can get through it. Mr. Mercury,
Sports.
Good afternoon. Yes, I want you to know that you're live on I Am Sure Sports,
Yeah, man, everything as well.
All right. Hope all Wonderful, man. I know you're in the comment section. You have been listening to the program. What are your thoughts on the discussion thus far? And give us your take. And remind the people where because you're a national coach. Just let them know which of the islands you're in, so they can at least know that you're giving perspective from that island as well, based on experience. Go ahead.
Well, I am at St. Anthony Grenadines. That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
I live on one of the Grenadines Isles, which is Beck, which is the largest of the Grenadines Isles. My coaching education is from a European background, but I understand my local license, which is the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have license. This and how things are set up. The free John is working on joining a convention, which means minimum you to do. I haven't seen the full document because I'm not active with the federation. Give you my perspective from UEFA. UEFA have a coaching convention, which means if you sign up to the criteria, different license, minimum hours that you must teach, minimum hours the coach must put in, and things like that.
Okay, so there are minimum hours you must put in the UEFA coaching courses before you can move from one level. But you did put up something that professional players, they get they can go straight.
Professional players, based on experience, it will be different because Asia and everybody else. But as I say, I'm giving you the UEFA perspective. 4 to 5 years of experience at the pro level. They let you go directly to the UEFA B license. So that's part of their convention.
Okay.
Because a professional player who has 4 or 5 years of playing, if he's been paying attention, he should have a basic grasp at the principles of the game already. Is he being taught at that level? But what UEFA does is you can go on a normal B license, but because they are professionals, some association creates a special course for the professional players because they only have a short window when they are playing. So when they are on break, there's a special time for them to come in and deliver.
Okay, I see.
So because you play professional football for what, 11 months of the year, you only have a month and a half. So they must give them some special arrangement because you're playing all the time.
Okay. No, that's important. But let me ask you this: in St. Vincent's, do they do the same courses like Jamaica does, which is a start with the D, you go to the C, and you can do the B and the A license? Is it the same kind of material and courses that are there, or do they have their own independent courses that they do to educate the coaches in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
So let me give you a history. It started as each MA doing their own license. So you created your own content where you wanted to start. So then CONCACAF realized, no, that's not working. So they follow the UEFA model, which is a convention. So it's like, how could I relate it? So say it's university and then there's accreditation board. So CONCACAF is the accreditation board. So you have to meet the minimum of the criteria to have it brand as a CONCACAF license. If you don't meet that, then you have to brand it as a St. Vincent license. Now, if you get on the CONCACAF convention, you will meet the minimum standard across. So in Jamaica, there will be a minimum standard in St. Vincent, in Trinidad, in Antigua, in Barbados. So they bringing it under kind of one umbrella. there's a minimum, but also people can put on more. So, for example, let me use UEFA. In Spain license is the longest in Europe because they have put more on what they are doing. So they gone way above the minimum. Germany is the next place. Germany has gone way above the minimum. You understand? In Germany, you have to go to university and all those things there. Germans are very serious. In Spain, you have to do a lot of different hours in order to get a license. So I don't know if you get a better understanding of
totally,
the difference between
understand.
your own
and
right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can, if you want, I could give you some rundown of the content for the UEFA. So it's plenty, so I'm not gonna go through all. So the C license is where UEFA have started now. They never had a C license before, but they realize a lot of people struggle at the B, so they go down to a C. So you must be able to provide a positive developmental experience to enhance the player, which is enjoyment, knowledge, skill, and must demonstrate competence in all of these follow areas. So they have 4 years for the C. So grassroots, I'm not going to go through the grassroots criterions. I'm just going to give you one: inspire the lifeline desire to play football and stay involved in the game. Environment, positive environment and climate.
Yeah.
And then you go to the players. You know, you have to be able to adapt to the holistic approach to develop the player. Then you go to the game. You must be able to plan and deliver various game format with emphasis on enjoyment and development. That's just some.
That's the four. Yes.
Then
right.
you go
The four
to
things. Yes.
yeah. Then I go to the B.
Right,
And
which is
then
the B license, the UEFA B license, right?
Yeah.
How many components?
Which
how many
Mr. Speed is
components?
if it's the right for Mr. Speed, you have to this is basics, right? So
Oh, you're saying
again,
so Mr.
you have
Speed
to
was
do,
right that B is basic.
if it's the right Mr. Speed, yeah, he's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he is advanced and the pro is professional.
Okay.
I don't know how if CONCACAF adapt that same model. They are adapting, they are getting UEFA has helped them. So I'm assuming it would be around the same.
Okay.
So coach, you coach between grassroots and elite. This is for the B. So you're going to player and environment, develop learning outcome for both individual and team. So you've been able to work with an individual, say right back, and you're able to work with the whole back 4 or back 3 or back 5 and the whole team. Understand the characteristics of the playing position, develop players within a team structure based on the relevant game format. So that's just, I'll give you 2 under player and environment. Then you have training, which is another side. So planning and delivering training sessions that are challenging and meet the needs of the individual, group, and the whole team. So again, maybe the center back, the midfield number 6, then the whole of the midfield, which will be group, and then the whole team. The 3 forwards will be group, or the 2 forwards, however you put your stuff in place.
Yeah.
Managing, coaching, and motivating groups of players effectively in order to achieve skillful technical performance. And then you have integrating physical performance aspect into coaching. That's training.
Right.
And you have match planning effectively to improve team performance, coaching the team in a suitable manner. Then you have match again. You must be able to evaluate individual and team performance. And there's a whole lot more of, and the outcome is breakdown how you deem competent or not competent and all these things.
Yes.
But these are stuff you
you're right. So in the B, you said that one of the components is player. Then you have player, you have team, and then the other one is match, and the other one is match.
Yeah. You have the coach himself.
Yes.
Play and environment,
Yes.
training, and match. So your training is geared towards match.
Yeah.
Your training is about the players and the environment. So everything is linked, and in order for you to develop the player and have the right environment, the coach must have certain qualities. So that's why they concentrate on the coach, the individual themselves, developing the human resource.
Okay. I see Andreas join. I don't know if he has a question for you, so I'm going to let him say something, and then if not, then
Sure.
yeah. Go ahead, Andre. You're muted. If you're trying to speak, you're muted.
Hold on, I'm trying to shut
You're
off.
muted. If you're trying to speak, you're muted.
Hold on, I'm trying to shut off the other link. Hold on.
Okay. Just give him a sec. But this is some good information, right?
Yeah. He was doubling up, so I realized he's trying to close
and
it.
I think Mr. Speed was saying, are the person under the name Speed. So D and C is introductory, B is a basic, and A is advanced, and then you have the pro, which is professional. Right. So like I said, that UEFA, because the B was so difficult, they stepped down to a C to introduce people to the game so they would be able to do the basics. Right. Because
even I remember when I did my.
So you have a UEFA B license.
Yeah, I had to get my B before I go to A, but when I did my stuff, there was no C. So I did a international coaching license in Trinidad with the English FA. That is what qualified me to go to the next
B license.
Next round.
Right.
Yeah, to go to the next round.
Okay. All right, Andre, you're there now? Go ahead.
Yeah. I just caller, what's going on?
Hey, Andre, how are you?
I'm doing very good. Couldn't be better, actually. Management, I just wanted to point out something. The caller just went through a list of things, right? And the point I was making earlier, that if that the information is just information that people are using and rewriting and giving it their own terms. So everything that he said there, like he spoke about the ability to work with a player, work with an individual player in his position as it relates to what the team is going to be. Could you read that one again, caller?
Oh, you want me to go through that one?
Yeah, just that one.
From which one is the license? The C or the B? Because it's different.
I think it's the B.
For different.
I think it's
I
the
read
B
the B
license.
one.
It's the
I
B.
read the B one.
Yeah.
So let me go through the 4 in the B then completely. So developing learning outcomes for both individual and the team, understanding the characteristic and playing position to develop the players within the team structure, pace and relevant game format, allowing players to explore and experiment in the search for effective solution. So let's take number 3. You're not supposed to create robots. You create a situation where the players are challenged and they find the answers. It could give them clue, but in the end of the day, they're supposed to come up with these solutions. Because when they go on the pitch and they get in a situation, the coach can't go tell the referee, oh, yo, hang on, let me run out and make a coaching point. You go there. The players got to figure things out for themselves. The last one is motivating players by means of suitable training sessions. That's under player and environment.
Right. So coaching.
Yeah. So that
coaching training sessions. If I say coaching training sessions, you just read something there that applies to coaching training sessions, right?
Yeah. You did. Right? So it is the same thing being worded differently.
Differently. If I say leading the player, right, give the player's individual unconditional attention and mentor them to fulfill their potential. A shorter way of saying what you just said, but at the end of the day, you're leading the player. Same thing. Leading the team.
Same thing.
Managing the performance. So that's the point I was making. That is why everybody is exposed to the same information. They're rewriting it, calling it their own, right? Which is okay. It's fine, and that I think is from my perspective, the I'm going to use your word, management. I agree, it's a better word. The mentoring that people receive, and the exposure to other environments, the informal learning, even your ability to test your ideas and see what works and what doesn't work, and to apply those ideas. I think that's what makes for a good coach, not just the coaching
Yeah.
information.
But
There's a lot.
what really is going on around the world, Andre and listeners, is the conference are studying one another. So Spain just succeeded. People would want to go back to Spain and study, but people need to realize Spain didn't win for a while. When they win and with Del Bosque, Tiki Taka had won for a while, and then they weren't winning because people studied them and figured out how to stop Tiki Taka. And people were saying Tiki Taka is dead, but they won Euros, and they have both male and female Euros with Tiki Taka again. You understand? It's the same with Germany when they redid their strategy and were winning everything from youth Euros to senior to World Cup. Everybody, yeah, Germany. No, Germany ain't winning anything. This football business is a cycle. You have to keep advancing. You have to. It's called gaining an edge. How do you gain an advantage over your opponent? This is exactly what you're saying, Andrew. You have to figure out in your head how are you going to gain an advantage to win the tournament or meet your objectives and do it. This is why, let me use you made an example of Pep Guardiola. Yes, he would have to fulfill the criteria for his pro license in order to pass. But when he passed his pro license, nobody could tell him how to go and coach. He put his own spin, his own ideology, his own philosophy, and how he wants to teach. You understand? But of course, he would have been guided by things he learned in his license, because the license are based on data and studies and, from all the tournaments that UEFA gets. You understand? I make it my business. I study all of the UEFA documents. So, for example, the Euros is just the UEFA Euros finished. I'm in the process of studying all of the documents. They bring out a document. They do it for Champions League. They do it for Europa League, the Europa League. They do it for all the youth tournaments. And this is what you do as an inspiring coach. And then you look at it and you see trends and so. But this is how it works. A different coach have a different way.
I agree with you 100%. To be a good coach, you have to get up every day wanting to be better. And no, if you stop learning after you leave the coaching course, then I think it's over.
Yeah,
I think
it's
you
a
just
problem.
yeah.
Well, UEFA, for example, you have to do continuous professional development, which is called CPD in short. The license is only valid for 4 years. You have to do 15 hours of CPD before 3 years, or you lose your license.
Right.
Okay.
It's not a university certificate where you just get and you hold it forever.
Oh, you have to be. Yeah. That's good. All right. So listen. That's good right there. What is it called?
Yeah. So,
CPD. What
continuous professional development. CPD.
Yeah,
continuous professional development. I just finished mine 2 weeks ago. I did my online because since COVID, you have brought an online version. You used to have to always go physically, but for somebody in the Caribbean to travel all the way to England or Wales or Ireland, Scotland, just to do CPD, I'm happy with the online version, and you can do the online version. You have an option of doing it live. So when they are there live doing the actual thing, you can be live virtually, or you can do it after based on if you're busy working or something. You can take the recordings, then you study them, and then you have to submit some sessions and some feedbacks, and then you issue your 15-hour certificate.
All right. Final question for you, because I need to ask Mr. Speedo. Let me see if I can get him. Are you coaching in St. Vincent and the Grenadines now? Are you on a break?
Yeah, I as I told you, I was taking a time off from national, so I ain't going back to national football right now. Come back to my local club, try and rebuild, because Xavier, since I left, we fall off. So the whole The thing is rebuild it, get back coaching together, get some other human resources to join the coaching, get the qualification.
Yeah, because you're one of the highest qualified coaches in St. Vincent
Get
and the
back in the league.
Grenadines.
I am the highest. It's not to just rub it in, but I pursued my goals. My goals was to be the top coach in the land. I did that. My goal is to be top coach in the Caribbean, and I'm after that. And then my goal is to be the top coach in CONCACAF. So I taken it in stages. I've done the St. Vincent part. I have to do the CF. Well, one was CFU, but there's no CFU competition anymore. So I kind of have to jump up to CONCACAF directly. So that's the next step.
All right.
What is the quality of the youth football in St. Vincent?
Andre, you're gonna be disappointed in my answer. Just like every other Caribbean, in my view, we have fast, agile, strong.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? Coaching is the downfall. Kids don't know. They don't know the moments. They don't know what to do in the moments. That was my struggle when I went to the national team. The players didn't know the moments of the game. They didn't know what to do in the moments in attack, in defense, in transition for and against. So transition from attack to defense, defense to attack. They didn't know about high block, mid block, low block. They didn't know about build attack and play. They didn't know about the next stage, which is create. And they didn't know about create the attack. They didn't know about finishing the attack. They didn't know there was a matrix for every player in the field based on what you want to do in all of the moments. So what I want my right back and my left back to do when we are in position, what I want them to do if we are in transition from attack to defense, what are the triggers if we have to high block, because I am a kind of coach that playing in the moment. I play everything. High block, low block, mid block, based on triggers. So if the trigger is there to high block, can the team recognize all the triggers went to high block? So I'll give you an example. When my club team, we had no national play. In 2016, we came second in the league in St. Vincent. Went to the Caribbean Cup. We didn't do well in the Caribbean Cup. Last two, and I think we lost all 3 games. Yeah, we lost all 3 games. That particular team, in my opinion, I went to the national team. My club team was way better than the national team. Because what? I had the club team for 3 years, teaching them all these moments. I used to just sit down on the bench and enjoy the football. Because when you hear the ball went square to a centre back from the opposition, the ball went backwards on a pass, I didn't have to tell them that's the trigger to press. If it's high back or mid block, they will just go. And we had a particular striker who he went away, so he wasn't here for some of the training session. And he's powerful and he's really strong. Sometimes he's going to high block, and when you look behind him, there's nobody. There are 10 players are waiting for the next trigger to mid block, and he will cuss and say, "Oh, come with me." And the captain will say, "Look, there's no trigger there for a high block. You need to chill out." You understand? And I enjoy that football so much. And well, the coaching education is getting better because we have recognized it.
Are these
I was
adults?
senior, but
Senior?
the players was senior, but the players were pretty young. Oldest player probably was 25. Average age of the team was like 20.
Oh, so you're working with.
So I mean, you'll be rebuilding with some youths. Rebuilding with some youths. I had a session with U15 and U13's today. Same problem. Trying to start to get them into the moments of the game. They don't know. But we can't blame them. We need coaches to teach them.
We can discuss if you want, to give them kids some exposure, to bring them out and spend some time together, get them,
Yeah, I will love that.
He's not in Trinidad, he's in North Carolina.
I'm in North Carolina.
I know.
He's in North.
It doesn't matter.
All right, so
you need the connection across the wall.
Yeah, I'll exchange. I'll do the number exchange.
Yeah, you can give him the numbers. Number exchange. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And that's it. Let me just one last thing. Let me touch because I think people might be want to know in this. Let me see if I could touch on two things in the pro license, because the pro license is a big desire. So quickly, this is a pro license. So the coach, you have to work at the head coach as a professional club first team, or in the case a member of a coaching staff of a pro team. So that's what you need to do in order to get to this license. And players on team, you have to be planning, executing, and supporting individual players' development, including players' own objective and compiling with the club technical policies. So the club might, like Barcelona, have a way they want to play. Real Madrid have a way they want to play. You gotta know how to work with this thing. In the environment is working with the same thing, individual team, understanding how training design can be effective performance at professional level. So it's just the same thing as the match, using the game to develop each player and the team, and also to create a winning team and a high performance culture. That's just some of the things. I could send out the documents to you so you could have them.
Yeah, I'll exchange the numbers and stuff, and you can PDF it to me. But as soon as this is done, I'm going to exchange the numbers. I'm going to see if I can get Mr. Speed to chime in on some of what is here, and then we're going to close the show. But this was such a good discussion with you. Thank you again, as usual, Sir Mercury, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. Blessings, man. All right, so let's see.
Andre, take care.
All right, take care, brother.
Yeah, so I'm going to be exchanging those numbers. Yeah, man. All right, and blessings. All right, let's see if we can get Mr. Speed, you know. Let's see, you know. All right, we'll find out if it's a real one or there was a fake one. I'm going to give it a starting 11. People, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Mr. Speed, good afternoon. If this is you're live on I Am Sure Sports. Before you answer or say anything, are you able to speak based on what is happening and what you're hearing so far? Hello?
My name's Man. What are you saying?
You're live on I Am Sure Sports, sir. Just want to know before you say anything that the show is actually live, but I know that there's a person sometimes in the comment section. I don't know if it's a real Mr. Speed, but if it is a real Mr. Speed, don't know if you have been listening to the program, but what do you have to say about Kendall, Roach, Mr. Roach from out in Antigua. We have Andre from Trinidad, and we have Fabi Frano, who is from St. Martin. All of these, and we have Boris Johnson from the US. All of these different persons calling. We had Unseen, who Brian said that was not really accurate in terms of how he was explaining the process in Jamaica. And maybe I was wrong too. What is your take on the discussion so far? And yeah.
I didn't hear everybody, but I mean, I don't expect anybody at all to understand the process in Jamaica unless they are a part of it fully. It's difficult for you to know what our mantra is, for coaching education, because everybody is different. We have to look at our needs and kind of tweak our program to suit the needs. For instance, we had coaches coaching national team that have advanced level 2 from a long time. We had Premier League coaches, so we had to devise a way to get them up to the basic level fast, because we couldn't have national coaches at the basic level alone. Well, at even a lower level than the basic level. And just like what the caller said last is true, when we were doing the B license, we were so behind some of us that the coaches, although we're doing the B license, they had to take an extra week and go back and teach the C, so we could catch up again to where we should be with the B. So all that he's saying is true. Because, we Jamaicans think we know everything. The truth is we're so far behind the rest of the world so we had to take a particular route. We also found that when we were teaching at the B, it taught us a lesson. We decided to break down D, one course into D and C. It's really a C prep, then the C. The D is a C prep, then the C, because to throw all of that information, even though it is introductory and grassroots, and the coaches who had a whole different way of coaching, we found it difficult for them to understand and capture what to do. So what we did, for the 4 moments, we split it in 2. The last caller talked about the 4 moments. What we did was just attacking and defending in the D, introduce them to those two moments. Then we did the transition moments in C, transition to attack and transition to defense. So, but we are just geared for those two courses to become, is for you to have the basic to go coach like primary school, grassroots, etc., etc. Right? That is what we want to achieve, which is in line with what happened in Europe actually at the C level. When you identify the elite youths, then we want to be coached by a coach who understands the basic elements of the game at the B license level. We have just put that our Premier League coaches must have a B license because the ratio should be 3-1 before you can implement that type of rules in your country. So that is why we implement that rule at the B. But of course, we don't want to stop here. That is why we just had an A license course with 10 persons from Jamaica, and we have about 11 other persons doing the A license course. Because soon and very soon, you must have a A license coach at the Premier League. So it's a process because of where we were, right? There were some people who they were, because of experience, is not that they didn't know things that formalized. So nowadays, we're not coaching instructors, we are coaching educators, because a lot of different people in the courses have different experiences and smart people and know some stuff. They don't know all. So the whole idea of these courses is to get out everything out of everybody. So by the time we finish, everybody, all the people in the course is kind of the same, is on the same level, because we have drawn from everybody's experiences, the good things. Of course, there are some things that we instruct if people, didn't really know. So really, that is how it is. So once you start at a D license, you do well, we recommend you for the C, and if you do well, we recommend you for the D. For the B, which is basic, because it's really basic. I mean, okay. we kind of coin it a different way. We kind of, but it's really a basic understanding of the game.
Okay, so that's what I was, because my biggest question is that how do you know how a coach is doing? Is it based on the results of the C license, what they do at the end of the course, or is there any sort of evaluation, or do they have to present anything that says like, for the last 6 months I've been coaching at Buckbush All Stars, and you look at some things to see, wow, you have been implementing these things, so you look like a prime candidate for the B. Or how does that, is there that process? Or we just say, listen, you did the C, you did well, do the B. You did the B, listen, the A is coming up, do the A. Is there any sort of evaluation that you can actually say to a coach, we don't believe that you have done sufficient with the information we have provided to you to advance it to the next level? So listen, come back in 2 years' time, coaching, show us some stuff that you have done while coaching, and then we will evaluate if you're now fit to advance to. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Every single step of the way, yeah, to pass. So like at the D license, you get both a written and a practical test, and you must pass both at about 60%. Even when you pass at 60%, because the further you go up, is the less opportunities you have to get into one of those classes.
Okay.
So they put a notation on your test. Okay. This one can do the C. Yeah. So we have done that.
Okay. Andre, go ahead,
Well,
Andre. Yeah.
The question that you are asking, I think is different from so just to try to clarify the question. How are you doing, Mr. Speed?
I'm good, Andre, and you?
Couldn't be better. The question is that Manzma is asking the time in between courses. So if you did the C and you want to do the B 6 months up the road, I think what management has been asking is if there's part of the application, if there's some type of evaluation as part of the application process to determine whether or not you have
for the D,
whether or not you have applied the
for the D license, there is no. For the D license, there is no. Everybody can do the D license. We don't care who you are. You sign up for D and we have a state.
So let me just say this to the people. That is
Dog.
D as in dog. D license. All right?
Yes.
So D as in dog. Anybody can sign up, nothing at all. Okay.
Yeah, everybody can do that. Even if you can't read, right, to make you allow you to do that one, right? No issues. I mean, we have had instances where we had to ask the person the question and take the answer for them. That's it. But that's fine, you know. But they do a good session on the field. So you know, okay.
Yeah, but
so
I have,
you see what
I have a problem. I have a problem with that, you know. I have a problem with that. If I have to answer the theory for you, then I can't give you a pass because you do well on the practical. Because what is going to happen when I am not there to answer
the question?
Oh
no. That we just read. People can't read properly, so we have to read the questions for them, and then they tell you the answer. Them know the answer.
No, but if I have to read the question for you, it is saying that you can't read.
Mr. Speedman.
Yes, but the person know the answer.
No, you can't do the answer if you can't read the question. You're going to do the answer if you can't read the question. No, Mr. Speedman.
Of course they know the answer.
How if you know the answer, you can't read the question?
Management.
How you going to know the answer if you can't read the question?
If I ask you, tell me the 4 moments and the person attacking, defending, transition to attack and transition to defense. I don't have to pick him up.
It's oral. I thought it was a written. Okay, that's what. Okay.
Mr. Speed, you need to explain to management.
Go ahead, Andre. Hold on. Go ahead, Andre.
Explain to management that coaching education is an industry and people's families need to eat. So the route he's going down mean that nobody would pass the coaching course. You might need to explain that to him.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So when you do the D now, of course you're going to struggle after that if you can't read. So I mean, you might have an incentive now to go and learn to read, but the C now, which will encourage people to use computer for their presentations, etc. That is really, a lot of countries don't have D. They only have C. They start at C. But we start at D, you know. And basically we cut the C course in 2. So it's like a C prep, you know, the D. But at that level, we are heavily into grassroots, teaching you one-on-one technique. Technique will work on a lot more small-sided games, not so much not 11-side. As a matter of fact, for C, we don't allow you to use more than 7v7 to coach because we ask you to coach 2 lines, either the forward line on the midfield or the midfield and the defense. So we don't make you do 11v11. When you come to B, is 9v9. We don't make you pass 9v9 either because we want you to understand a technical or a tactical warm-up, you know, and progress the sessions where everything leading to what you want to do in the end of the game. So that is how we kind of teach the course, a little bit different from how we used to learn it before. Right? So if you pass through those handsomely, why stop you from doing the B? It's just basic. So once you pass through and you're recommended by the person and our next basic course is coming up, the B, we allow you to do it. The B by itself though, to pass the B, you have to understand coaching. So it's a process. Usually we have 3 different times where we come. The first time we give you 2 months. That's your development period. We give you homework to do, projects, whatever. Then you come back the second time. We look at your coaching that time, and there's a further development period before you do the test. And if we realize that you can't manage, your development period continues. So there's no end in sight to the B now, you know. You have to decide, you have to really pass all the stages, do your scrapbook, do all of those, tell us what your philosophy are, all of those things you have to do at the B.
At the B, and so that means at this time you should have a team that you're coaching.
Yes, definitely. Well, not necessarily if you have access to a team that is good too.
Or an assistant coach, because to present some of that information, you would have to be in a system, either, you know, a technical director, a coach, an assistant coach, whatever. You must be working in a system to present the kind of, like the all of those things that you're asking about.
You have access to access to a team.
Okay, so that is
Yes.
at the B level. I see what you mean. And you said it could be ongoing because if you're not applying the theory in a practical way, then it could they could say, all right, you need to work on this and come back and work on this. That I understand.
Yeah,
So
we're not passing you out.
we're not,
At the B. So even though you might start, if you're not adept and catch it, you just now come out. You're stuck in the B forever. We have had persons who do it for 6 months, some do 9, some do a year and still don't pass. Some people gone 2 years and a pass. So that's where we don't pass out unless you really learn for coach. No way you're getting past that stage.
But the only other question I would say is that grassroots, right? Which I think is a person with a C license can cover grassroots football. Right? All right. So I'm saying I've heard you say this, that it is at that stage that a lot of the youngsters are not being taught the right things and they end up coming through the system. So they'll get to the Premier League level or the tier 2 level. And they say, how come you don't know that? That is grassroots stuff. So if at the grassroots people...
You have been kind, because people leave Jamaica and go overseas and don't know. So you have been kind.
True, and people, right, yeah, and people go overseas. That is true as well. So let's put that in there. Now, if that is happening at the grassroots level, isn't it also suggesting then that at the grassroots level is where we're probably having most of the challenges in terms of passing on information? And if the access to the sea is so easy, aren't we creating a system where we're going to keep having the problem?
No. A majority of the coaches now at that level. I've never seen a coaching course before. And we have put them through the D, so they have learned 2 of the moments, and when you come at the C, you learn the other 2. No, it's not easy to pass the C. I'm just saying the C is at a different level. As somebody was saying in your thing, the C will more concentrate on technique, small-sided games, the technical technique for the player to understand the 7 tenets of the game, the head in the pass, and that's where most of our emphasis should be at that particular level. So everybody is built, the players are built with a foundation, because you can't start coach tactics if the person can't do anything. The person can't pass properly, then how tactics going to work? How systems going to work, how your philosophy will work if the players don't understand and can't do the basic things. So the C is for that. Majority of the C is for that. That type of application from the coaches, and that is what they have to teach at the grassroots level. So it's fine. There's nothing wrong. You will not get to the B so easy because there's limited spaces for one. So it's only the best of the C you will be able to go up to B. So that is where you start to separate everybody. But up to C, everybody's supposed to be able to do a C license course, because you don't want the youth to be coached by somebody that don't have any form of training.
Okay, I agree with that. All right, so now, is it then because the reason why the B is harder to get into is not because of the footballing acumen, but because there's limited space? So if you had a lot more spaces, then more people would be doing it, just based on the fact that there's more spaces, or it would still
No. You still have to show competence, say you master up to the C level, because remember now the B is for elite youths and top amateur teams, amateur players. Those are the ones a B license coach is supposed to coach. So we need to cover every elite team, every elite youth teams and every top amateur team in Jamaica with coaches at the B license level. So
okay,
yeah.
Andre, anything else you want to?
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right, that sounds.
When you reach the B now, you definitely have to sit out 1 year before make you attempt the A. You'll never attempt the A until you sit out that.
So to do the A, you have to sit out. When I say sit out, you have to be coaching for a year, or you don't have to be coaching. A year.
No, you have to be coaching for a year after you complete the B. Year start when you complete the B.
Okay. And it don't matter what level you're coaching. So if I have a B license, but I can't get a Premier League or a Tier 2 job or a job in the high school, I could coach a primary school. It don't matter.
Well, it's unlikely you'll get in because the line will be long. That is one thing that so you the person get applied with the national coaches. I mean, probably the next 5 years in Jamaica are Tier 2 women's Premier League.
Okay.
The simple reason that A-license will come around one every 2 years. It will not come around very often.
All right. Some people
There's a lot of planning,
yeah,
a lot of things for executing.
All right. A lot of people are saying that Jamaica is different because they are saying that some of the Jamaicans who end up going to play ball overseas, some people are saying that as a mediocre league they go and play in. So they should not be fast track because a lot of them not good. This is what people are saying. I believe that, you know, former players who play professionally overseas for over 5 years should. But some people are saying some of these men go to some Azerbaijan league and some you know, Uzbekistan go play and those things. And they're saying that really, has that really qualified them? And they were playing in the third tier or in those lower level European nations league. Why do they come back now and they get pushed right into the B? You know, you were playing in the Vietnam second division, the Indian third division. Does that make you ahead? Yeah.
Well, that's not true. We have not pushed anybody to be. We met them to see. We have not in Jamaica. We have pushed them to trade. To every them. Even some who have that come to say, listen, because they will see it because of different courses from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So those people are fast track, but not fast track in the sense that we push them in the B. It means that if them do see and finish this week, we might end up doing next week.
Okay.
Remember the gentleman that called in last, you know, him actually said that, you know, say in UEFA, there was nothing near C. Them all start at the B, because B stands for basic, which keep on telling you, and some people are saying that's not true. B stands for basic, that's what it stands for.
And A for advance.
A for advance. So we felt proud to pass B. So and I think we'll probably sell it. So everybody just pass the basic stage, which means that everybody who don't pass a B, you're further down, you know, you're further down the line, you're in introductory, which is why I've said to you, C and D is like introductory, but somebody else said the right thing in there are some smart people in your column, they say, no, those is for grassroots, which is true. It's kind of a different type course. You learn some of the same things, but it's more geared towards small-sided game, geared towards people who just start play the game, like primary school, those type of leagues. You want those people to have up to a C. So, right. You know, remember, you know, we have 900 primary school in Jamaica, and 850, 870 of them never have no coaching. The person coaching probably just don't have no coaching certification. So, these kids who supposed to be the next future stars was not being coached properly. And that is why we have a project now with 500 primary school coaches start in August. We're trying to bring all of them up to the C license level by next year. That's why we have this project.
I'll send you some information for a gentleman who want to help in that project. I hope you reach out to him.
I don't see the info. I don't see it.
All right, I need to send it again because he needs to. I
must tell you, though, I mean, since we have great news here, great news. So already 3 coaches from Jamaica line up for the pro license next year. So by next year we'll have some pro license coach too.
Okay. So the pro license is a CONCACAF pro license. The CONCACAF pro license.
Look. No. That is not how CONCACAF work. They license countries to do their license.
So it's a pro license in Jamaica, but you can use it across CONCACAF.
No, it won't be a pro license in Jamaica. People from FIFA or UEFA come and teach it. There's nobody in Jamaica who can teach a pro license.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. All right. So is it just for persons in Jamaica, or there'll be other Caribbean nationals doing it, but just 3 Jamaicans?
Yeah, there'll be other Caribbean, not 3 Jamaicans. I think it probably be about 10%, because they don't make a lot of people do these courses any one time.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I have a call. Just hold on a second.
People from America and Europe I think, and FIFA. Those are the first.
Yeah. All right. Don't hang on, Mr. Speed. Let me see if I can get this. This caller was calling. I think they want to ask you a question. A coach. Let me see if I can get them. Hold on a sec. Andre, what do you think about that pro license coming, so you're not trying to do yours? One day we can get in.
Well, I think you hear Mr. Speed was specific. They have 3 coaches lined up. So there's when it comes to the pro license, I think there's even more limited spots, and they they allow the coaches that to begin with, and then after it open up for everybody else. So we'd see.
Okay, so no spot for you.
I don't know. I'll find out. The pro license, that's Jamaica. Does Trinidad have one? Huh?
You hear that, Mr. Speed?
No, it's a Caribbean. It will be Caribbean white. Sorry? Say that again?
Oh, it'll be Caribbean white. Okay.
Say that again. It will be Caribbean white, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sound good. Like the plan so far. So we're gonna work with it. I'm not getting through to the person
to go back a little bit to the A license. The A license is a different kettle of fish. As the last caller was alluding to. You have to do 18 matches. When you have to coach, you have to prepare against opponents and come up for a training session to defeat your opponents, and then you have to report on what in the game. And discuss what went wrong, what went bad. So is
I think we're getting in bits and pieces, Mr. Speed. I don't know what is happening. I think we're getting Mr. Speed in bits and pieces. So let me try this and sing. Let me try it this way. See if we can, let me just call him directly. Get out this Wi-Fi thing right here. Let's see if we can do it this way. See if we can get back in touch with Mr. Speed. This is some good discussion right here that we're having. And I am sure sports. And once we do this, the Jamaica under 20 team, the starting 11 is out. So I'm going to just quickly run by you the starting 11. Once we can get back to Mr. Speed and he can finish off where he's at. The starting 11 of Joshua Grant in goal. There is A. Grange, Nashawn Bolt, Javin Williams, Christopher Ainsworth, Adrian Reed, Welsh, Reynolds, Cohen, Watson, and Gibbs. That's the starting 11. All right, Mr. Speed, we weren't hearing it, so I'll call you back. Yes. So you're talking about the A license, and you're saying that they have to coach 18 games?
18 games. You have to design, you have to have real opponent that you look at, analyze them. Then you design a training session to defeat that team. And when you're finished, you have to report back the score and then talk about what went right and what went wrong and what you would have to do different if you were to play them again. That type of thing you have to do to get that A license. In addition, you have to pick 4 players and show how you improve those 4 players over the season, over the course of the 18 games. So very engaging, and it's a journey. You really learn to coach after that A license course, you know. And I was saying, people, all our A license coach, our coach, lecturers, coaching educators are from UEFA, that coach is same like in UEFA, or South America. So those are where our educators are from. And they have said that some of our courses that we have kept in the Caribbean is comparable to anything that they have done in the world, not just in the Caribbean. They were that good with the participation, etc. So our coaches are good at. They are really good.
All right. Don't hang up, Mr. Speed. Let me see if I can get back there. I think this is a coach trying to get on the program. So let me see if I can get him on the program. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Yeah, man. You're live on I Am Sure Sports, and you're trying to get through to the program. You have a question?
No,
Okay.
I
All
missed it.
right then. I thought you were calling for the program. All right. So not calling for the program. All right, Mr. Speed. Sounds good. I think that is it. So we got some perspective. What the people understand, because sometimes the people don't like to listen to these things, and then there's a lot of questions that come up. But I heard it, and so I decided that I'd speak about it, because it never made sense to me that a person could in 9 months move from a D to a B, and there was no evaluation. But now I get a better hang of how things are. I still believe that there's supposed to be some coaching police that go around and investigate what some of these coaches are doing. Because what I don't want is for all of this information to be presented to them, and they are not applying it. They're sticking to what they did 5 and 10 and 15 years ago, and not, adjusting to the modern coaching philosophies and ideas and all of those things. So I still believe that there's a need for some coaching police. Call them CP. And also, what Kendall also said, Mr. Speed, is that there is a CPD, which is you don't just have your license, but there is a Andre, you remember what he said about the development, the CPD? I forgot what it actually meant, but go ahead if you remember.
Where you have to do every couple of years or so, you have to do a certain amount of hours to keep your license.
To keep your license.
Yes.
Is that part of it too? Like a licensed coach in Jamaica, they have to do a certain amount of coaching to keep their license. Just like how doctors have to do a certain amount of things to keep their medical license or their license to practice up to date. Is there something like that in the A license, or once you have it, that is it? Hello? I'm not hearing Mr. Speed.
No,
Man.
yeah, I am saying that football is a professional qualification, like a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant. So, continuous professional development, CPD, that's the word. For you to keep the designation, you have to do a certain amount of hours, and sometimes it's over a year, or sometimes over 3 years for you to keep it. In addition, we haven't gone to coach it license yet. We're going to try and start next year, where even although you get a diploma, you still have to get a license to practice in Jamaica. And that time, you'll have to do like safeguarding kits. Yeah, that course, you have to make sure you have a safeguarding certificate. You have to probably get a police record if you're coach kid to say you're a good person. And you must have done the continuous professional development. So those 3 things will be a requirement for you to get a license to coach. And that's what we're working towards for next year.
Oh, so first you have to certify them before you implement the licensing process.
Yeah, you just get a diploma. You just get a diploma. Like with a doctor or a lawyer or accountant, you have passed the exam, but that just tells us that you're at a standard to give you a license for you to practice. So that's the process we're going into next.
So safeguarding does not exist in the region as yet?
No, we have safeguarding in the course, but we never usually issue a certification for it. But when you're ready to license you, we're going to say, look, you have to do that. We have to issue a certification before you can get a license.
Right.
So we'll have those short courses, maybe 2 hours, maybe Zoom, it don't matter, but it's something that you have to do before you get a license. We do it in the D license course now. So once you do a D license course at the beginning, you have to do it.
Well, here as a coach, you have to do safe guarding every year. Get the background check, everything done every year. every new season.
Yeah, good. We're going to be doing it.
Yeah, every
as
season or
part
every
of-
2 seasons or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's part of
Yeah,
your
that's a good thing.
it's part of your portfolio when you're a coach here and you do US soccer coaching, you have an account, if you want to call it that have all the information, your CV and everything in it, and everything about you is updated in there. So when you do that, they would know that you have those things and you passed it or whatever the case may be. But you got to go through, you got to watch videos, answer questions about various things. If it happened on the field, if a kid fall down and you're not sure what the problem is, and there's a lot of detail in terms of keeping the kids safe, because that's the most important thing that you do, right, as a coach. Provide a safe environment for the kids. So it's something that is very useful, to be honest with you.
Yeah, here we too is a part of our course and in an introductory course where when you do the practical, yeah, we watch you very keenly about stuff like that. Players get injured. I mean, there's somebody that they did a very good session, but a player got injured and he would play the player no mind. And of course, even 2 years after this, we have not passed him out because we were serious about safeguarding too. So it's something that we look out for during the session. How you prepare, how you take care of people's kids.
Somebody's asking, what if you do a safeguarding course in England? Will that count in Jamaica? I don't think
Yes,
it can.
it can.
I don't think so, because it's
No, man,
different.
it
It's
can.
different things.
No, it can. If you do it recently, what we do, is to compare what the curriculum is, compare what you have studied, and if it is past the minimum standard, yeah, it would be good. We don't.
And it depends on the recency of it, because if it is like 15 years ago or 10 years ago, it may not. It may not.
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be. Safeguarding is for a short period of time, a year or 2 years or something like that. But one of the things that is interesting, for years, like in England, among the youth game and the professional clubs, families people weren't allowed to take videos or pictures of the players. That's a safeguarding issue. It's something that I've implemented in my environment for years now, and people couldn't understand it up to now. Why can't I take a video? What can I take a video? Well, if I'm coaching, I don't know. I don't have time to look and see who's taking a video, right? So if I see somebody with their phone up, I'll stop them, because at the end of the day, these are minor children, right? And you can't just allow people to take pictures and take videos of minor children. And most times it's innocent. It's people seeing something that they figure they want to document because they passing by. It might be different to their environment, but at the end of the day, you don't know the individuals that's doing that. Strangers could come by and that's how they function. And next thing you know, they're talking to a kid somewhere in the grocery store that with information that sound like they know them and they don't. So those things it's been slow to get to this part of the world, to be honest with you. But they exist in Europe a long time now.
Yeah. Well, say I did it a year ago from England management. It's for a short period of time. I think you did it a year ago. It probably expired now though. So you'd have to do a new one. Yeah. Yeah.
Gunner's boss will make trouble.
Yeah, Gunner's boss give it trouble. But Mr. Speed, thank you for coming on as usual. I know you're probably going to drink your coffee right now and watch the U20 versus Costa Rica. They start in like 10 minutes time or probably 20 minutes time. Thank you for coming on and explaining these things. We really appreciate it. All right.
I would like to hear his expectations for today. Yeah, he went dark the other day. He said he was going dark because he was busy.
Oh, I'm not hearing him look like he's yeah. Oh, and this would be a good question to ask, this one right here. Is there a website where we can check a coach's credential online? And are there any upcoming plans to provide real-time statistic updates too? I think that's a very good question. And Mr. Speedway here, I'd ask him that, like, I want a coach, can I go on and check, like, who are the coaches, what are the qualifications, and you understand me? And what are their credentials? Is there a site for that? That's a very good question.
Yeah. That's I know that you could put somebody in the system here and put somebody name. Like I could log into my account and I put your name in there, and it would tell me if you're licensed within the system.
Yeah. I'll find that out for you, Ryan. Listen, Sir Andre, thank you very much. Listen, we have Jamaica versus Costa Rica. I've given you the lineup. Go check it out. Support the young reggae boys, and then later I'm going to have a show with my friends from Excelsior as we discuss the Ali Cup, no Folly Cup. But thanks to Andre for always being on the show with me. I know Cranky Live is going on right now. You can check him out. And Jason Guna is also doing a watch along to the game. Go and support them, show them some love. Big up to everyone who called in. It was the Caribbean. Greetings from across the Caribbean is the title of this show today. We got input from different spaces and people in the Caribbean. Oh, you want to hear the starting lineup again? Let me give you the starting lineup again. Hold on. Starting lineup. All right. Let me give you the starting lineup. Jamaica versus. So you have different goalkeeper Joshua Grant. Grange starting. That's 2 changes. All right. Javin Nashan Bolt. Javin Williams. Christopher Ainsworth, next starter, Adrian Reed, Welsh, Fabian Reynolds, Dunstan Cohen, Orion Watson, Nashada Gibbs. So that's it. Lynch is on the bench. James is on the bench. Blake is on the bench. Small is on the bench. Wizard on the bench. Garden on the bench. Burkett on the bench. Waugh on the bench. Bicknell on the bench. And Simis on the bench. All right. So blessings to everyone. Yeah. Special ed accommodation. I don't know. Big up to everyone. Big up to Balakar. Balakar win some competition down in him home parish of Trelawney. Congratulations, boss. All right. Bless up yourself. Sir, before the game, blessings to you. Thanks for coming on. As usual, we need to get through to that great Trini to tell us some more about this whole coaching thing across the Caribbean. But I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports, and as usual, no. Before we go, right now, people, let me tell you, we are at 86 likes. We need 18 more likes to get it to 100. So before you go, please, I ask you to hit the like button. Please do that. Blessing Ricardo Richards. Up. Blessings to you. Right? Ricardo Richards in the building. I am Management. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when it gets to this point of the show, we say we are over and we are OUT out of here. I'll leave you with a word from our sponsors, Trick Nick. And this video is not only powered by Trick Nick, but by Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it the most. Here is a word from our sponsors, Trick Nick.